Uh, as well, I am Shamsundar Gupta, CEO Systems here. Uh, as all of us know that there is a lot of issue with regard to piecemeal holding in many of the divisions. The divisions have been complaining that the actual holding in their division is much less than the holding reported by the FYA system at midnight. But at the same time, the wagon holding in the wagon master, Indian Railway wagon master, is actually more than what the FOA system has been showing. So this purification and linking of records has been going on for quite some time, and as one of the important step in the same direction, the decision to undertake a piecemeal wagon census has been taken by Railway Board to facilitate, since the census activity has not been done for many years now, to facilitate the census exercise. A mobile app has been prepared by Chris with active involvement of Railway Board and this office to facilitate the census taking, to make it as accurate as possible, and to do it in a flip. So once the piecemeal wagon census is done undertaken, then the system itself would try to do as much exercise as possible to bring the wagons to the correct location, wherever if they are not in the correct location, except for some exceptional cases where the further intervention of the divisions or the headquarters or the mechanical directorate would be required. So this is one of the purification exercise. The exercise would be successful to the extent the interest is taken by the divisions. If unless the wagons, each and every piecemeal wagon on any line in the division, whether it is a sick line, whether it is a workshop, whether it is an accident site, whether the wagons are condemned, proposed for condemned wagons, each and every wagon's census has to be taken. So once if we do it genuinely, I think the problem of piecemeal wagon holding the in the system and the actual holding would largely go away. So this is the whole exercise. We are proposing to hold the census on 29th of this month only. So this is and for that only the DBC has been arranged. Pradeep, you can I think take it over from here.
The EDTTS is here. He would also like to speak, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. As Mr. Shyam Sundar Gupta has already briefed all of you, this piecemeal wagon census has been necessitated because there is apparently quite a large gap between what we are showing and what physically is the availability of wagons on various divisions and various terminals. So it is very essential that each and every piecemeal wagon, piecemeal means all piecemeal, as Shamsundar has already told you, that piecemeal, whether it is in yard, at roadside station, sick line, workshop, awaiting POH or ROH, or even wagons awaiting condemnation. At some places, there are certain wagons which are there for transshipment. Each and every wagon has to be accounted for. This is the mandate, and there should not be any deviation from this mandate by any of the divisions, because we have to purify our wagon master data, so that every day that we are struggling with the number of wagons, whether it is correct or not, it has to go away after this census. That is our aim, and we want to do it on 29th. So everybody be prepared for it. Ask your people to go to all the locations wherever there are wagons and get them enumerated, so that there is no confusion about it. And I further request that while you are doing this census, you should get a clear picture of how many wagons are in various uses. Like with engineering, how many wagons are there with engineering for what work? Some wagons are there for PQRS, some are loaded with rail or sleepers. Even with bridge sleepers and girders, there are wagons lying somewhere or the other. Then RE has also quite large number of wagons on various railways wherever there is electrification work going on. So all these wagons should be, you should have a clear idea ki how many wagons on which division and which zone is holding for what purpose. And Pradeep, you have to say something?
Yeah. Now you will have to basically identify the places where the piecemeal wagons are available, where the census will be done. You will have to form a joint team along with the carriage and wagon staff. Basically, so that all the piecemeal wagons are identified and brought into the FOA system. Today onwards, we had almost 23,000 wagons which are showing as fit available as per the FOIs. And almost 13,000 wagons are in sick conditions. Now due to arrive, and then apart from that, there are also 3,000 wagons which are available neither conditions. So now we want to get that this data may be purified, and please identify this meeting has been called just to tell you the methodology how you will go for the census.
One more thing I would like to add. These days, we have been asking all the zonal railways, CFTMs and deputy COMs about the wagons, piecemeal wagons they are holding. And the standard reply that we get is that they have cut out certain number of wagons, but at midnight they come back to their kitty. So, and everybody says that कि हमारे पास ये वैगन है नहीं लेकिन हमारे यहाँ शो हो रहे हैं सिस्टम में. तो भाई यदि सब लोग के यहाँ पर एक्स्ट्रा वैगन है तो ये रेल भवन में तो हम लोगों ने कहीं पार्क करके इन वैगन्स को नहीं रखा हुआ है. That is we are sure of about it. And many of you must have come to Rail Bhavan also. Our rooms have not so much spacious that we can hold so many wagons here. So please be forthright about it and come up with exact number of wagons that you are holding. Nobody is going to hang you for that. Yeah? But by hiding the problem, we are not going to get any solution. That is what I have to tell you all. Ravi, I think now you should tell them about the modalities, how they
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, thank you, Deepak Jha, sir, Shyam Sundar Gupta, sir, Pradeep Oja, sir, and I welcome Amit, GMFOS and his team. I will give a brief preparatory presentation, how to prepare for this census. Then Amit Jain will give you a detail about how to use that app and what will be the follow-up action by the system. So, let me share the presentation screen. I hope I am visible now.
So presentation is visible.
Okay. So, Piecemeal Wagon Census, the tentative date is 29th of November. Before that, we will have one more round of VC. But there is need to be a holistic preparation because it's a very professional exercise which we are doing. This exercise is only for IR wagons. Don't do it for private and defense wagons. The number of wagons are probably, as Pradeep Oja sir has told, that it will be around 43,000 wagons which has to be mapped through this app. Locations where we have to do it is yard, sick line, ROH depot, POH depot, roadside station, accident sites, ART, ARME, PQRS depot, engineering siding, store depot, OHE depots, sidings, any other possible location where a piecemeal wagon can be found. What type of wagon? The wagon which are not part of rake. Please understand this exception that the wagon which is not part of rake has to be mapped through this app. The wagon which is fit for traffic, departmental wagons, monsoon reserve wagons, traffic wagons in departmental use, sick, ROH, POH marked in the yard, in sick line, ROH depot, POH depot, awaiting condemnation, accidentally damaged, capsize, whether the wagon is on track or not track, you have to just take a picture of it and capture through this app. Every division should nominate one operating officer under supervision of senior DO. There should be multiple team and demarcated location for census. Please understand that the yards like Neempura or New Katni, you may need to nominate multiple teams. One man cannot census the whole yard. So you can create multiple teams. Plus, for roadside, for per section, you can, for the whole section, you can have one person, depending on the workload requirement. The census through the app will require investment of 1 minute per wagon, not more than that. Only authorized user can use the census app. So create as many user ID as required. Some surplus should also be created by sharing an Excel sheet, Google sheet. We are sharing an Excel sheet, Google sheet to all of you. In that sheet, there will be, in that Excel file, there will be two Google sheets. One is for nominated officer at the zonal level as well as division level. And other will be for creating as many user IDs you want to create. The user has to be an authorized FOS user for using that app. So please, if you have less number of user IDs available with you, you can ask us to create as many as you want. One user ID will be able to run on only one mobile app. You cannot use one user ID for running the app on multiple mobiles. A yard can be assigned to multiple users and a user can be assigned multiple locations depending on the workload. The division control office has to be manned for reporting the census wagons from control in case the user cannot reach the wagons. There will be a possibility that a user cannot reach to the wagons. Then we have a provision that we can take a picture in the gallery and then report that wagon from the control office on this app by reporting its location and take the picture from the gallery, use the picture from the gallery. The app and detailed procedure will be explained by GMFYs in after this presentation. One user ID can be used on one mobile only. That's again I am requesting. So please create as many user ID as you want to create. It is very important that the authorized FOS user ID will be able to run this app. Census will take place on 29/11/2022 from sunrise to sunset. Post-census system will automatically position the wagons at the census location with the exceptions to be handled simultaneously by the division control, FMM and FOS, and OCC CRIS. Contact details will be shared through a Google Sheet. There will be buffering and network issue which will be resolved by taking the picture of the wagon and then doing the, the reporting of the wagon from the place where the network is there. The census exercise need to be managed professionally because after the cut in and cut out functionally will be disabled. After this census exercise, we will stop cut in and cut out functionality in the FOS and it will only be done through a letter approved by PCOM, then forwarded to EDTTF, then only OCC will be able to handle this cut in cut out. Otherwise, merely sending OCC message for cut in and cut out operation will be stopped after this census. So I would request all of you that manage this census procedure very professionally, because after that, there will not be any functionality of cut in and cut out operation available in the system. So with this, I request Amit Jain to take over and explain the complete procedure and the use of app. One more thing I want to say that there is a video available for how to use the app. I will share the Google YouTube link with you. There will be a Google sheet to mark who will be the nodal officer at the zonal level and the division level. And there will be a Google sheet for making as many user ID as you want. You just have to fill the name and details of the persons who are going to use this app for the census. And we will create as many user ID as you want. With this, I request Amit Jain to take over and explain the.
Thank you, Ravi sir. So, as Ravi sir has already explained, there are two parts of this exercise. First is you have to capture the images of the photograph, that is census part. You have to report the wagons. And second part is reporting them in the FOA system. So, how to process the data in the FOA system. Most of the processing will be done by the system itself. Once you capture the wagon data, it will be sent, transferred to the FOA system, and it will be processed by FOA system automatically. But in few cases, your intervention will be required. Like if a wagon is not available in the Indian Railway Wagon Master, then this wagon will have to be first created in Indian Railway Wagon Master with the help of your TXR control using FMM module, and then only it can be cut in the system. So I would request my technical team who has developed this mobile app, then how to use this mobile app, and then they will also tell you how this data will be processed by the system and what will be your role. So I'll request Mr. Mitesh, who has developed this app, to make a small presentation on the application part and the RMS processing part. Over to
Uh,
Mr. Mitesh.
Once that app is explained, I think we will take questions from the field if
Yes,
they have
yes,
any.
yes. So at the end of the presentation, we'll have queries from the field. Yeah, Mr. Mitesh, you can start your presentation.
So, and good evening, everyone. I'm sharing the presentation. Can everybody see my screen? Presentation wonderful. Okay, the Piecemeal Wagon Census mobile app. I will explain all the features in it. So, introduction. Piecemeal Wagon Census mobile app is developed to record piecemeal wagons available on stations across IR, and this app will be enabled to the users for a limited duration only. That is 1 day. Uh, this mobile app captures wagon details by capturing photo of the wagon number printed on wagons, and additionally, editing facility is also given to the user to correct if the system reads it incorrectly. So these are some features which are there in app. For example, track GPS location to track the location where census is taking place. Then capture image to read all the details from the image itself. And optical character recognition, which actually reads all the data and fill it into the text boxes. So these are the steps to download Wagon Census mobile app. You can download it from www.voice.indianrail.gov.in. There is internal users menu option in which there is web reports and a login screen will be presented. A username for that is download at trace and password is download. And you can then click on download link and then you can sort the files present there and download the Wagon Census app APK by clicking on it. So these are the installation steps. Once you download the app, when you tap on the file which is downloaded, there will be a warning message that for security reasons, you need to change the settings of your phone to allow this app to install. So once you go to the settings, there will be an option allowed from this source, and you will have to allow it by turning it on. So once you approve it, a dialog will come for installation. You click on install and the application will be installed. And there may be other warnings also, depending on phone type, that this APK might contain unsafe content. So you need to click open and allow in that case also. So when we launch this application, once it's installed, a splash screen will be flashed for a moment, and then a login page will be presented to the user. So all the existing voice users having voice login IDs can use this app by providing their credentials. Once user provide the credentials, some users may be having their locations turned off. So it will ask user to turn the location on. So it will directly take you to the location setting, and user can turn on the use location setting. If the phone is already having that turned on location setting, then this step will be skipped. And the next step is app will ask for the permission from the user to use the device location. So users must give while using the app, and that will lead to the main screen of the application. This screen will consist of these get location button, drop down menu, to select the stations and to enter location manually, which is hidden right now. Then camera icon, then owner, wagon type, wagon number, loaded empty, secret status. So all these will be explained in further slides. So before starting the census and before clicking image, user need to tap on the get location button so that latitude and longitude is displayed to the user. For example, in this image, latitude is 28.58 and longitude is 77.1850, etc. So when user click on it, then he need to tap the drop down button, drop down window. So he will be displayed with the 4 options to select from. These 4 options are the nearest stations where user is conducting the census. So user can select any one of them which is deemed fit. If he doesn't agree with these 4 locations, he can also enter it manually by selecting the enter manually option, and user will be able to see the text box where enter location manually is written. Okay. And then if user enters this location manually, then this will be checked with the voice referential data at the time of validation. Now, after entering the station, either from selecting it from drop down or entering it manually, user can click on the image of camera, where you will get the 3 options: take picture of wagon number, select wagon image from gallery, and clear image. So take picture of wagon number will take it to the camera application, and user can click the uh, wagon image, and the system will process the image and create all the fields which are there: owning railway, wagon type, wagon number, which it reads from the picture. The second option is select wagon image from gallery. This option is provided to the users for the location where there is no internet connectivity. In that case, user can click images from camera app, and when he or she goes back to the location where data connectivity is available, he can use the wagon census app to select wagon images from the gallery and then process the image. Once the image is processed, user can edit if he think that OCR reading is not correct. For example, if app has a misread wagon type or owner or even wagon number, he can edit it by clicking the edit button provided in the front of the text box. After these 3 automatic filled values, user need to provide loaded empty and stick fit status of the wagon. Once it is done, user can press on the save data button, and details will be saved in the voice database. User can optionally click reset data button to reset the page and do the activity again. So once user saves it, there are some validations which are done at database end. So there are few scenarios like when user submits it, wagon found with correct details. If the wagon is found with correct details, that means it matches with the IRWMS data. Then user will be intimated that wagon entry is valid and is saved in voice. No further action is needed. And then second is when wagon found with incorrect details. That means wagon exists in IWMS, but details like wagon owner or wagon type or both doesn't match with the data we have in IWMS. So user will be asked to recheck the details, and it's forced to ask recheck the details. And when he clicks on recheck, he can edit all the fields which are there. And if he thinks that he has entered it correctly, then he can proceed and save it again. The second time, record will be saved successfully, and warning message will be shown that owner code or the wagon type must be entered through IRWMS through TXR control. Other scenario is when wagon is not found in IRWMS. In that case, first the user will be asked to recheck the details, If user persists with the same details again, the record will be saved and the same warning message will be given that wagon has to be entered, updated in IRWMS through a TXR control. And one more scenario is there. If wagon is entered by some other user at the same location or at some other location, so a warning message will be given that this wagon has already been captured by some user. So do you want to save it again? If user is confirmed that the wagon he has captured is correct and he has not done it previously, then he should proceed with it and press OK. Otherwise, if he see his name in the list and he want to modify, even then he can save it again. There is its system will allow to save it, save the wagon details again, and we will only consider the uh, record which is saved last. Okay, there are a few points which user need to remember while taking picture of wagon. For example, in some cameras there is setting which watermarks the image. For example, in this image you can see IOIQ0066 Pro. That's name of the mobile phone that is appearing in the picture. So user need to turn this watermarking off so that OCR can work correctly and doesn't misrecognize the image. Usually it hinders the number taking capabilities of the OCR. So these are the few steps which user can do. For example, open the camera settings. There is a menu which is highlighted with an arrow. User can go there. It may vary depending on mobile make and model. So these are just for reference. So second step is tap on setting icons. Under settings, there will be some watermark settings which may be turned on. User need to turn it off. For example, in this watermark, add timestamp to photos, device watermark. User need to turn all these settings off. Second point in memory is when clicking image, zoom in the camera to capture only relevant details. For example, in first picture there is in image there is written R723 and downwards it is written TR23.5. So all these will hamper the OCR's capability. It's recommended to zoom in the picture, zoom in the camera and take the relevant picture only. And third point is try to take a picture from 90-degree angle in standing in front of the wagon. But user need to ensure that safety is paramount and he needs to take care of himself uh, while conducting this census. Now, once all the details are captured, we can see all the details which are captured by user in wagon census report in RMS zonal queries and division queries.